My beloved child. Have you ever wondered why one face from your past still appears in your thoughts, even after so much time has passed? Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. This story is unlike anything you have heard before. Don't skip. Every moment from here will connect one hidden piece to another until the complete picture finally appears before your eyes. There was once a woman whose presence quietly shaped your journey in ways you never fully recognized. She did not always stand in the spotlight. She did not always receive appreciation. Yet every conversation, every smile, every lesson, every moment of kindness left a mark that continued traveling with you long after she disappeared from your daily life. At first, it seemed like an ordinary connection. Nothing looked unusual. Life moved forward. Seasons changed. People came and went. New chapters opened, and old memories slowly faded into the background. Or at least, that is what you believed. But some stories refuse to disappear. Some people leave footprints that time cannot erase. Don't skip. The next few moments may completely change the way you look at your own past. Think carefully. Have you ever remembered someone's words at exactly the right moment? Have you ever faced a difficult decision and suddenly recalled advice you had almost forgotten? Have you ever felt unexpectedly encouraged without understanding why? Those moments are not random. The woman who once influenced you may have planted seeds that only began to grow years later. At the time, her words sounded simple. Her actions seemed ordinary. Her presence felt familiar. But life has a remarkable way of revealing hidden meaning long after the moment has passed. That is where this story truly begins. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Imagine standing in a room filled with hundreds of old photographs. At first glance, they appear unrelated. Different places. Different days. Different emotions. But then one small detail appears in every single picture. One person. Always there. Sometimes close. Sometimes far away. Sometimes speaking. Sometimes silently watching. Only after looking carefully do you realize that this person was part of almost every important chapter. That is exactly how influence works. It rarely announces itself. It quietly builds your future while you are busy living your present. Don't skip. Because the next discovery becomes even more surprising. Many people spend years searching for the reason they became who they are today. They credit achievements, failures, opportunities, or luck. Yet hidden beneath all those experiences is often one individual whose encouragement changed everything. Not through dramatic speeches. Not through extraordinary events. But through consistent moments that seemed almost invisible. That woman believed in possibilities before anyone else noticed them. She encouraged growth before results appeared. She saw potential before success arrived. At the time, you may not have understood why her words stayed with you. Now the pieces begin fitting together. Stay with this story. Every sentence matters. There is another reason this untold story deserves attention. Most people only remember endings. Very few remember beginnings. Yet every meaningful journey starts because someone quietly opened a door that nobody else even noticed. Perhaps she asked one unexpected question. Perhaps she offered one simple compliment. Perhaps she reminded you not to give up. Perhaps she simply listened when nobody else had time. Those moments seemed small, but their impact became enormous. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you. As the years passed, life became louder. Responsibilities increased. Dreams changed. Challenges appeared. New people entered your world. Old memories became covered by the noise of everyday life. Still, the influence remained. Invisible. Steady. Unshaken. Like the roots of a great tree hidden beneath the ground, supporting everything above without asking for recognition. And that is why this story is so powerful. Because today is not simply about remembering one woman. It is about discovering the invisible connections that shaped the person you are becoming. Many people reach this realization far too late. They only understand after years have passed. They finally see that someone quietly changed their direction long before they noticed the road had turned. Stay till the end. The biggest revelation has not arrived yet. There is one question you should keep in your mind throughout this journey. What if the greatest influence in your life was never meant to be obvious? What if the most valuable lessons were hidden inside ordinary conversations? What if the memories you almost forgot are actually the key to understanding your own story? Don't answer yet. Because everything will become clearer. This is only the beginning. Every chapter from here will uncover another hidden layer until the complete truth stands before you. Take a deep look into your own memories. One familiar voice. One unforgettable smile. One unexpected lesson. One quiet moment. Sometimes, those are the moments that shape an entire lifetime. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Part 2. There is something extraordinary about the people who quietly change our lives. They rarely realize the impact they are making while it is happening. Years pass before the truth begins to reveal itself. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Think about this for a moment. What if one conversation from years ago is still shaping the choices you make today? It sounds impossible at first. Yet the more carefully you look, the more clearly you begin to see the hidden connection. The woman who once influenced you never needed a stage. She never needed applause. She never tried to become unforgettable. And perhaps that is exactly why her influence became so powerful. She simply lived with kindness. She spoke with sincerity. She encouraged without expecting anything in return. At the time, her words seemed ordinary. Today, they sound completely different. Don't skip. Every second of this story is leading toward a revelation that most people never discover. Imagine opening an old book that has been sitting untouched for years. At first, you recognize only the cover. But as you begin turning the pages, forgotten memories return one after another. Every page reminds you of something you had completely overlooked. That is exactly what is happening now. Your memories are beginning to reconnect. The pieces are slowly finding their place. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Have you ever noticed that certain phrases never leave your mind? You may not remember where you first heard them. You may not remember the exact day. But somehow they still guide your thinking. Now ask yourself, who spoke those words first? The answer may surprise you. It may lead directly back to the woman whose story has remained untold until now. Life often hides its greatest treasures inside ordinary moments. A simple smile. A quiet conversation. A few encouraging words. One unexpected act of kindness. Nothing about those moments looked extraordinary while they happened. Yet together they created a foundation that continued supporting you for years. Don't skip. Because the next realization changes everything. Most people spend their lives searching for extraordinary events. But true influence rarely arrives with loud announcements. It grows quietly. It remains patiently. It continues working long after everyone has forgotten the moment it began. That is why this story matters. It reminds us that the smallest moments often become the biggest turning points. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Now picture yourself standing at a crossroads years ago. You believed you were choosing your own direction. But what if your confidence came from someone who believed in you before you believed in yourself? What if your courage was strengthened by words spoken long before the challenge appeared? That possibility changes everything. Because influence does not disappear. It continues traveling through time. It quietly becomes part of your decisions, your dreams, your character, and even the way you encourage others. Without realizing it, you begin passing those same lessons forward. The kindness continues. The wisdom continues. The encouragement continues. One life quietly touches another. Then another. And another. Don't skip. This hidden chain is only beginning to reveal itself. Something huge is waiting for you. There is another detail that almost everyone misses. The woman who once influenced you probably never knew the full impact she created. She may have believed she was simply living another ordinary day. She may have thought her words would be forgotten. She may have assumed that life would simply move on. But influence works differently. Its greatest results often appear years later. Long after the conversation has ended. Long after everyone has walked away. That is the quiet power of genuine encouragement. It never expires. Stay till the end. The biggest discovery is still ahead. Right now, somewhere inside your memory, one forgotten moment is beginning to return. Perhaps you can almost see it. Perhaps you can almost hear the conversation again. Perhaps you are finally understanding why it never truly left you. This is not coincidence. This is connection. A connection that time could never erase. Don't skip. Because the next chapter uncovers something even more remarkable. Before we continue, if this story is reminding you of someone who quietly changed your life, share this video with someone who should hear this message too. You never know whose memories it may awaken. Every great story deserves to be passed forward. And this one is only becoming stronger. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The truth has been hiding in plain sight all along. You simply had to look at your past from a completely different perspective. Now the hidden story is beginning to unfold. And what comes next may become the most unforgettable part of this entire journey. A remarkable discovery is about to unfold, and this is the moment where everything begins to connect. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The more you reflect, the clearer the hidden picture becomes. For years, you believed your journey was shaped only by your own choices. You remembered the victories, the setbacks, the unexpected turns, and the moments that demanded courage. But today, another layer of the story begins to appear. Behind many of those moments was a quiet influence that never asked to be noticed. That is why this story is unforgettable. The woman who once influenced you never needed recognition to leave a lasting impact. Her greatest contribution was invisible. She helped shape the way you looked at opportunities. She helped shape the way you responded to challenges. She helped shape the confidence that slowly became part of who you are. At first, it seems impossible. How could one person leave such a lasting impression without you realizing it? The answer is surprisingly simple. Real influence does not force itself into your memory. It quietly becomes part of your character. Don't skip. Every sentence is leading to a revelation that very few people ever experience. Imagine standing before a giant mirror, expecting to see only yourself. But instead of showing only your reflection, the mirror begins revealing every person who helped shape the person you became. One face appears. Then another. Then another. But one face remains longer than the rest. The woman whose story has remained untold. Suddenly, moments you once considered ordinary begin carrying extraordinary meaning. A brief conversation. A gentle smile. A thoughtful reminder. A simple question. Each one seemed small. Together, they became unforgettable. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Life has an unusual way of hiding its greatest lessons inside everyday moments. Most people overlook them because they arrive quietly. There are no grand announcements. No dramatic entrances. No obvious signs. Only ordinary days that later become extraordinary memories. That is exactly what happened here. The influence was never loud. It was steady. It was genuine. It remained with you long after the moment had passed. Now ask yourself one question. Have you ever repeated advice without remembering where you first heard it? Have you ever encouraged someone using words that seemed to come naturally? What if those words were never truly yours? What if they were passed to you years ago by the woman who believed in you before anyone else noticed your potential? That realization changes everything. Don't skip. Because the next truth is even more meaningful. Influence is like a light that quietly travels from one person to another. It does not become weaker. It becomes brighter. Every encouraging word creates another encouraging word. Every act of kindness inspires another act of kindness. Every hopeful conversation continues through countless lives without anyone keeping score. That is why some people are remembered forever. Not because they sought attention, but because they changed hearts without expecting anything in return. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Now imagine if someone asked you today, who helped shape the person you are? At first, you might mention achievements. You might mention experiences. You might mention important milestones. But after hearing this story, one forgotten memory quietly rises above the rest. The answer was never hidden. It was simply waiting for the right moment to be understood. And perhaps that moment is today. This is why the untold story matters. Not because it belongs only to one woman, but because it reminds every one of us that the greatest influences often leave the quietest footprints. Years may pass. Places may change. People may move in different directions. Yet genuine influence continues its journey without asking for recognition. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The next chapter will uncover the final connection that ties every hidden clue together. When that moment arrives, you may never look at your own past the same way again. Everything has been leading to this moment, and what you are about to realize may stay with you long after this video ends. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Until now, you have been looking back at your memories one piece at a time. Now, for the first time, the entire picture begins to appear. The untold story was never about fame. It was never about recognition. It was never about someone trying to change the world. It was about one person quietly changing another. That is where the greatest stories begin. The woman who once influenced you may never have imagined that years later, her kindness, wisdom, and encouragement would still be shaping your life. Yet here you are. Still carrying pieces of those moments. Still remembering lessons that refuse to fade. Still growing because of seeds planted long ago. Don't skip. Every word from this point forward brings you closer to the biggest realization. Think about how many people enter our lives. Hundreds. Perhaps thousands. Most become distant memories. Some disappear completely. But a very small number remain connected to us in ways we cannot explain. Not because we see them every day. Not because we speak to them often. But because they changed the direction of our thinking. That kind of influence is timeless. It survives every passing season. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Imagine discovering that one small conversation changed an entire future. Imagine realizing that one moment of encouragement gave someone the confidence to keep moving. Imagine understanding that one simple act of kindness created a chain of hope that continued far beyond what anyone could measure. That is the quiet miracle of genuine influence. Its greatest results are often invisible. Yet they become impossible to deny. Now another question appears. What if the greatest gift that woman gave you was not advice? What if it was belief? Belief that you could become more than you imagined. Belief that your future held possibilities you could not yet see. Belief that ordinary people are capable of extraordinary growth. Sometimes belief changes everything before success ever arrives. Don't skip. Because the next realization is unforgettable. As you continue walking through life, you may unknowingly become that same source of encouragement for someone else. A few sincere words. A listening ear. A thoughtful reminder. A simple expression of confidence. Those moments may appear ordinary today. Years later, someone may remember them as the turning point of an entire chapter. That is how influence continues. It never truly ends. It simply finds another heart. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Perhaps this story has already reminded you of someone you almost forgot. Someone whose kindness still echoes in your memory. Someone whose presence quietly helped shape your journey. If this story has brought that person to your mind, share this video with someone who needs this reminder today. You never know which forgotten memory it might awaken or whose day it might brighten. Every meaningful story deserves another listener. Every quiet act of kindness deserves another chance to inspire. And every untold story deserves to be remembered. Don't skip. The final chapter is closer than ever. One last connection remains hidden. When it is finally revealed, you may discover that the greatest influence in your life was never about changing your destination. It was about changing the person who would eventually arrive there. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The most unforgettable revelation is still ahead, and once you hear it, this entire journey will come together in a way you never expected.